I got a little surprise for you.
What's going on?
I thought I'd introduce you to my boys.
Therefore, gonna be seeing you later, sweetheart.
Wait till you're invited.
Are you? What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Duck out, Grandad. This has got shit to do with you.
Hey. I really won't do that again.
Fuck off, old man.
I'm telling you all now. The next ponce who tells me to fuck off, I'll take your fucking jaw. Fuck off.
You fucked up.
No, you fucked up. Okay, come on, you and me.
Don't work like that anymore, old man.
Yeah, you steaming heap of dog shit. You're too fucking cowardly to do a one-to-one, you ponce.
You want a one-on-one, yeah?
Yes! Fucking what's up? Oh, you fucking cut! What? Yeah! Fucking what's up now, you cunt? What you fucking say, bro? What you fucking say, yeah? Take it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Aaron, this way.
What the fuck's it got to do with you, what? Did you see anything here? No, you didn't see nothing then, no? Right, then we'll see about that then, shall we, yeah? Answer my fucking question!
I didn't see anyone!
The film opens with a scene featuring Richie, a middle-aged British citizen residing in Spain, and a retired mafia leader engaging in firearms training. Richie, who is not your typical individual given his past as a mafia leader, resides in an opulent home that reflects his considerable wealth. During a lunch with his daughter Carmen, Richie expresses his feelings of longing for his older brother Charlie, who lives in England. The narrative then shifts to Charlie reminiscing about Richie with some friends when he receives a phone call from him in Spain. This conversation allows the brothers to convey their mutual affection and yearning for one another. After their call, Charlie returns to his friends, where he is approached by Lizzie, a friend of Richie's, who requests Richie's contact information, having harbored an interest in him for some time. Recognizing Lizzie as a suitable match for Richie, Charlie agrees to facilitate their connection by providing her with his phone number. Meanwhile, in London, a couple named Aaron and Lauren are seen walking down a desolate street. Aaron, who is the leader of a gang, has ulterior motives as he leads Lauren into a narrow alley where she becomes the target of harassment by his gang associates. One of the gang members, Dean, attempts to intervene and protect Lauren but is thwarted by Aaron. The situation escalates until Charlie arrives after hearing the commotion. Upon witnessing the gang's actions towards Lauren, Charlie urges her to leave and confronts the group. However, instead of backing down, they retaliate with insults, prompting Charlie to strike one of them. This provokes Aaron, who angrily orders his gang to attack Charlie to death.
Wait till you're invited.
Are you? What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Duck out, Grandad. This has got shit to do with you.
Hey. I really won't do that again.
Fuck off, old man.
I'm telling you all now. The next ponce who tells me to fuck off, I'll take your fucking jaw. Fuck off.
You fucked up.
No, you fucked up. Okay, come on, you and me.
Don't work like that anymore, old man.
Yeah, you steaming heap of dog shit. You're too fucking cowardly to do a one-to-one, you ponce.
Fuck off!
You want a one-on-one, yeah?
Yeah? Fucking what's up, son? Oh, you fucking cunt! Cunt! What? Yeah? Fucking what's up now, you cunt? What you fucking say, bro? What you fucking say, yeah? Dickhead!
Shortly thereafter, Lizzie, who had just exited the bar in search of Charlie, was taken aback to discover that her friend had tragically passed away in an alley adjacent to the bar. That same evening, Lizzie reported the incident to Detectives Susan Taylor and John. Unfortunately, the detectives were unable to make any arrests regarding Aaron and his gang due to insufficient evidence. Additionally, Lizzie did not witness the incident directly, she only observed the gang members exiting the small alley where Charlie's body was found.
And how did you know the deceased?
You don't know Charlie or Richie Archer?
You were saying Charlie Archer was murdered, and it seemed you were about to suggest something. Did you see the murderer?
No, I didn't see the murder, but I know it's E2 gang.
What makes you say that?
It was bloody obvious, wasn't it? I mean, they was all coming out the alleyway as I was going in. They need to be destroyed.
Ms. Davies, it would be best if you didn't say that.
I mean, they're trying to destroy us, aren't they? Our community, our way of life, and you want to protect them, do you?
We need evidence before we can do anything.
Oh, I see, of course, evidence.
Did you see anyone causing Charlie Archer any harm?
Well, why?
Did you see anyone murder him?
No, I didn't see anyone murder him, but I just know it was the E2 gang, you know? You lot, back in the day, this sort of thing would never even have been allowed to.
But I will follow up on your assumption that the E2 gang are involved in some way.
Subsequently, she informed Richie of Charlie's death, which left him devastated and prompted him to plan a return to England. The narrative continues with Detectives Susan and John confronting Aaron and his gang, warning them that they would face arrest and imprisonment if found guilty of Charlie's murder. Aaron, however, denied the allegations and chose to leave. After the detectives departed, he instructed his associates to silence Lauren, who had been harassed for witnessing their attack. Dean, aware of this plan, discreetly visited Lauren's home to warn her that Aaron intended to threaten her. He advised her to remain indoors for her safety. Shortly after, Aaron and several gang members arrived at Lauren's residence. Through the mail slot, he coerced her into silence regarding the events surrounding Charlie's death, threatening to kill her and her mother if she spoke out. Meanwhile, Richie had arrived in England and immediately met with Roy, one of his associates. Richie then visited Lizzie to inquire about the circumstances surrounding Charlie's death. Lizzie explained that she did not witness the incident firsthand but believed that the perpetrators were gang members known for causing trouble in London. Following this, Richie and Roy proceeded to the crime scene where Charlie was killed, encountering Detectives Susan and John, who were investigating the case. Recognizing Richie as a former respected mafia leader, Susan requested that the investigation be handed over to the police. Although Richie was reluctant to transfer responsibility for his brother's death to law enforcement, he ultimately agreed to do so in their presence before departing. Later that night at the bar, Lizzie informed Richie that she had discovered a video of Aaron and his gang harassing Lauren, which she believed might be connected to Charlie's death. Knowing Lauren personally, she provided Richie with her workplace address. Richie then approached Lauren to discuss the events leading to his brother's demise. Feeling indebted to Charlie, Lauren eventually shared the details of the incident in a private setting near her workplace. She revealed to Richie that Aaron's local gang was behind Charlie's murder. Unbeknownst to them both, DK, a member of Aaron's gang, witnessed Lauren divulging this information and returned to inform Aaron that Lauren had spoken to a man named Richie about the incident. Aaron, mistakenly perceiving Richie as an ordinary middle-aged man, remained unconcerned about the situation. The scene then shifts to show Richie and his former mafia associates gathered at Charlie's funeral. Shortly thereafter, an elderly gentleman named Arthur arrived at the location. Richie, in a light-hearted manner, jokingly suggested that Arthur should leave, citing his age as a reason for not fitting in with the group. This remark provoked Arthur, who retorted that he was the only individual who had nearly bested Richie in a confrontation. Richie's jest elicited laughter from everyone present. Following this exchange, Richie expressed his gratitude to Arthur for bringing the group together. After the funeral, Richie encountered an acquaintance, Jack, a retired police commissioner residing in a modest home. He requested Jack's assistance in gathering information about Aaron and his gang. In return for Jack's help, Richie promised to share some of his possessions to enhance Jack's quality of life during retirement. A few days later, Jack provided Richie with information about several gang members. However, he was unable to locate any details regarding Aaron, the gang's leader. Based on this information, Richie instructed his associates to abduct two gang members, Leroy and Ed. Upon realizing that their captors were an elderly group, Leroy and Ed dismissed Richie's inquiries about Aaron's whereabouts and instead insulted him and his friends. They even threatened Richie and his companions. Amused by the two young men's apparent ignorance of their past identities, Richie and his friends laughed at their bravado. However, when Ed made derogatory remarks about Charlie, Richie began to lose his composure. In response to Richie's orders, he retrieved nails and hammers from his belongings. Without hesitation, he drove a nail into the back of Ed's hand and proceeded to use a drill on Ed's feet. Witnessing the torture inflicted on his friend, Leroy panicked and, fearing for his own safety, offered to assist Richie by luring Aaron out of hiding. Although Richie's friends were skeptical of Leroy's sincerity, Richie unexpectedly accepted the offer and released him. Once freed, Leroy attempted to draw a gun to shoot Richie. However, before he could pull the trigger, Richie swiftly shot Leroy dead. Richie explained that he had not trusted Leroy but had chosen not to kill someone who was defenseless. The group shared another laugh at the absurdity of the situation. Shortly thereafter, as they prepared to interrogate Ed further, he succumbed to the effects of their torture. Meanwhile, Aaron was frustrated by the recent disappearance of two of his members, suspecting they had fallen victim to rival gang activity. The following day, Richie returned to Lauren seeking assistance in locating the remaining members of Aaron's gang. She informed him that one member named JB was often seen in the parking lot. Feeling guilty for continuing to involve Lauren in this dangerous situation, Richie ultimately asked for her phone number. Regrettably, before Lauren could provide her phone number, Detective Susan intervened in an effort to protect her. It was revealed that Susan is Lauren's mother, and she requested that Richie refrain from involving her daughter in the situation. In the parking lot, JB noticed Arthur alone and perceived him as a vulnerable elderly man, prompting JB to attempt to intimidate him. However, when Arthur brandished a sword, JB, who was riding a bicycle, quickly pedaled away. In his haste, he collided with a car that had unexpectedly stopped in front of him, resulting in his fall. The vehicle was driven by Richie's associates, and Arthur's presence in the parking lot was part of a trap set to capture JB. Subsequently, JB was abducted by Richie and his friends and found himself tied up in an abandoned building. Richie once again inquired about Aaron's location. Unfortunately, JB, who dismissed them all, refused to provide any information regarding Aaron and his gang. He even ridiculed Charlie by stating that he resembled a foolish dog when they had beaten him to death. This remark incited Richie's rage, leading him to fatally assault JB. Tragically, this incident triggered a recurrence of Richie's illness, necessitating hospitalization for treatment as he devised a plan to draw Aaron out of hiding. A few days later, it became apparent that Aaron and his gang were preparing weapons in anticipation of potential attacks from rival gangs. Unexpectedly, Lauren arrived at their headquarters to speak with Aaron, informing him that all the missing gang members had been kidnapped and killed by Richie. She also mentioned that Richie was currently hospitalized. During their conversation, Lauren received a call from her mother, prompting Aaron to suggest she take the call to avoid raising suspicion. After Lauren disclosed all pertinent information to Aaron, he and his gang members proceeded to the hospital and took her hostage. He instructed his associates to disperse in search of Richie's room. Shortly thereafter, two gang members located Richie's room and fired shots at the bed, believing Richie was lying there. Unbeknownst to them, Richie and his friends had positioned themselves behind them and returned fire. Hearing the gunfire while in the elevator, Aaron quickly realized that Richie had anticipated his plan. Growing suspicious, he checked Lauren's phone and discovered that she and Richie had conspired to frame him and his gang. Fortunately, Dean arrived just in time to intervene and push Aaron to the ground. Following this altercation, a fierce gunfight erupted between Richie's group and Aaron's gang. Recognizing that the situation was spiraling out of control, Lauren promptly contacted Susan to request immediate assistance at the hospital. Meanwhile, Richie's group systematically eliminated members of Aaron's gang. Tragically, one of Richie's associates sustained a gunshot wound to the hand and required urgent medical treatment at the hospital. Shortly thereafter, Dean attempted to rescue Lauren and remove her from the hospital premises. However, Aaron discovered their escape and took Lauren hostage, demanding that Richie confront him. In response, Richie and his associates emerged from hiding to find Aaron prepared to shoot. Just then, Dean intervened, thwarting Aaron's intentions and causing his weapon to swing toward Richie. Although Richie managed to seize the gun, he struggled to load it while Aaron aimed another firearm at him. Unfortunately for Aaron, his weapon was out of ammunition. At that moment, Susan and several police officers arrived on the scene and fired at Aaron, perceiving him as a threat to Richie. Following this incident, Richie was seen recuperating in a hospital bed, where Susan expressed her gratitude for his role in saving her daughter. A few days later, Richie hosted a significant celebration at a club. During this event, he encountered Lizzie, who expressed her interest in him. However, when he invited her to stay in Spain with him, Lizzie declined, stating her unwillingness to leave England. As the film concluded, Richie's friends appeared dejected over his impending departure to Spain, especially after their efforts to avenge Charlie's death. Unexpectedly, Richie reappeared behind them, revealing that he had chosen to remain in England to be with them. The film ends with Richie and his friends preparing to combat crime in London as a means of atoning for their past transgressions. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.